Hello, 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 hello. Welcome everyone to the stream. My name is Professor Chimp. Oh. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and very, very carefully set up my mic so that it's not too close to the computer screen and ends up, you know, catching all the noises of my monitor. Something that I've noticed recently when I'm recording lines for What Ifs is that when I'm doing narrations, it ends up picking up the noises of the monitor, and it's really annoying when I'm editing the audio. Ayo, Fard Gaming TV! What's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome Elijah Edwards. Chris Songti, welcome to the stream. What if Goku was a super genius like... Oh, so what if Goku was a brilliant scientist like his father? That, you know... Well, one of these days I do want to talk about a scenario where Goku is actually pretty smart. Like, how to word this? Because Goku... At least when he's initially shown, it's not that he's stupid. It's that he was incredibly sheltered as a kid and didn't know much about the world. But, like, if you see him in Dragon Ball Z, he's not actually dumb. Like, he doesn't have, you know, like, a lot of book smarts, but he's pretty wise, and he understands a lot about life, and has a lot of wisdom, too. And he's a martial arts genius, so he's not stupid. It's only in Dragon Ball Super where, like, the writers thought, hey, you know what? We should make Goku act like Luffy from One Piece and make him a complete idiot. Because that's what's gonna appeal to kids more. If he's less like a average adult and make him a silly dummy, haha. That'll bring in more young viewers for our Saturday morning cartoon slot. 7 mil, welcome back, welcome back. When he hits his head, he becomes a super genius. Yeah, like that one 90s movie, what's it called? Super Babies? Or Baby Geniuses? Where it's just all these babies have like super powers, one of them's sort of a genius. To hit his head, the same concept. You know, I agree, Chris. Like, Goku in OG Dragon Ball, he's a kid who was raised in the sticks, right? And then get a lot of school knowledge in him. And then in Dragon Ball Z, like, he's more confident and wise, but he's not, again, he's still not book smart, but doesn't mean he's stupid. It's only Dragon Ball Super where he's an active idiot. He's made bad decisions in Dragon Ball Z, like giving Cell a senzu bean or like misunderstanding his son and thinking he likes to fight, but like once he's made the mistakes, he didn't repeat them. Like even in Super, like Goku understands that like what he did against Cell was dumb, and he didn't want to put Gohan in a situation where he didn't want to fight. I mean, sure, he gave Moro a senzu bean, but that was less of him wanting Moro to change and let Gohan or someone else fight, and more of a power move saying, hey, even if you have your health filled up, you can't beat me. So that was more of a power move than anything else. I think they saw a bridge and realized people like that, so... Okay, so... Here's my little theory that I have in my head regarding TFS and its effect on the wider fandom. I feel like all of us understand that TFS has had a lasting impact on the Dragon Ball fandom because of DBZ Abridged, right? But I feel like what people don't really think about is how it affected, how it may have affected Dragon Ball Super. Because it's shown in Dragon Ball Super that like there's a direct reference to TFS, like with Mr. Popo, and the closing shot of his eyes when he threatens Vegeta after he blew up the time chamber. Like that would not have happened if any of the writers or staff had not watched TFS, right? Like it's not possible. That's a direct reference to TFS. So I wonder, in the back of my mind, if Dragon Ball Z Abridged was seen, like, was somehow in the minds of these writers, and they were like getting ideas for the scripts for Dragon Ball Super, right? We can't confirm that, obviously, because these writers for DBS, I doubt they're ever gonna have an interview where they go, "Oh yeah, we got inspiration from this American parody show that we're constantly trying to deny they exist, and who are trying to always cancel and delete from the internet." I doubt they'll ever admit it, ever, in any official capacity. But it leaves you thinking, right? Like, I wonder how much DBZ Abridged influenced the writers of DBS. Makes you wonder. TFS needs to make a Boo arc. Honestly, I'd rather the TFS crew not do something they don't want to do. I'd rather them not make it than to have a product that has no like passion behind it, you know? I'd rather have nothing than to have a product that's like worse than before. That's my personal opinion. Cell interactions in Dragon Ball Fighters was like dialogues from TFS Cell. That's a good point. I remember when I was playing through Fighters, like, I noticed that like the dialogue was extremely snarky, and there was a lot of like not really meta humor, but there was a lot of like jabs at other characters during those dialogue scenes. And when compared to like the Japanese versions, like it's nowhere near as like antagonistic. I remember seeing a comparison between the Japanese lines and like the English translated lines for, I think it was when Piccolo talks to Yamcha in that game. And there's a point where Yamcha's like scared to fight the villains. Like he's just like, "Oh, Kami-sama, protect me please, like I think I'm gonna die." And in the Japanese version, Piccolo is just like, "Oh, it's not Kami anymore. Dende's the new Kami," right? There's a joke to that. Which I also think is like a reference to something he said in the Buu Saga. But like in the English version, Piccolo flat out just ruins Tien's entire life and says, "Now I see why Bulma married Vegeta." Alright, it's been a couple minutes. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll give it like another like 2 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and start the actual discussion. Are they gonna make a DBZ Abridged arc? No, like they've said like officially like years ago. This was like I think 2018 or 2017. They just flat out said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna finish the Cell arc." And then they released like the final episode, they released like a little snippets going, "Coming back with the Buu Saga," or something along those lines, right? And then they announced publicly, "Oh yeah, we're canceling the BoJack movie Abridged, and we're not doing the Buu Saga anymore," which is completely in their right to do. Because like again, I'm sure they were looking out for their own careers, because DBZA makes like no money for like a studio like them, and their channel is always getting copyright struck and being taken down, and they're trying to be more professional in regards to like official projects. So I completely understand why they didn't want to do it anymore. Plus, they were burnt out. I remember seeing live streams of theirs, like they were just completely burnt out with like DBZA. and they wanted to do different projects. So more power to them. More power. I'd rather they finish on like a high note than to do a project where they have very little passion for, because it's going to show up in the quality. So I don't blame them at all. Okay, 10 minutes have passed. I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to the discussions. I should actually move the chat box. I'll move it a little bit higher. There we go. Yeah, I think that works better for the chat box. Alright, cool. Let me just turn this off here. There we go. Alright. So, last time we were here, which was last week, what we did was we had some discussions regarding different what-if suggestions, right? And we talked about it here. This is the list we made. And we talked about, in detail, 2 scenarios, which was, what if the bees joined the Z Fighters, which was an entire sweeping epic. And if you weren't there for it, watch the first live stream, which is on my channel, and which is recorded, to hear the sweeping epic regarding the bees and how they changed the universe of Dragon Ball GT. But after that, we started talking about what if the Ox King joined the Z Fighters. And we went pretty in depth, but we stopped at a certain point because it was like an almost 3.5 hour long stream. But we finished OG Dragon Ball, and then we got to post Namek. Yeah, no, we got past Namek, and then to the lead up to the Android stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna very briefly go over what happened last time. So Ox King. This man is really strong. I mean unbelievably strong. This man is actually more busted than we take him credit for. According to the Tree of Might movie pamphlet, which was given out back in the 90s for moviegoers, he is canonically said to have a power level about 900. For early Dragon Ball, that's fucking ridiculous. Because that implies that for all of OG Dragon Ball, there's a guy on Earth walking around who is strong enough to give Raditz trouble. And then the change in the story is that he decides he wants to, he makes a promise to Goku, saying, oh, we'll have a rematch someday. And that influences not only the Ox King to actively try and get a little bit stronger so he can, like, keep up, to give Goku a challenge, but also it inspires Chi-Chi to go on her own adventures and get stronger and have her dad train her. It snowballs to Chi-Chi participating in the 22nd World Tournament. She beats Goku and then Tien, and she wins the tournament. Pretty much guaranteeing that Goku has an interest in her, for like to be essentially like his rival essentially. But then in Piccolo Saga, when Krillin dies, Goku and Chi-Chi go off to find Tambourine because Chi-Chi chasing after Goku because Goku's really pissed. Long story short, it ends with Demon King Piccolo getting his youth and then corrupting the Ox King with his magic so that he becomes a rampaging monster and a servant of the Demon King. And then we have Chi-Chi and Goku being forced to go to the lookout earlier, getting very brief time chamber training so they can defeat Piccolo and save Ox King. And then that happens. Early Sand Saga happens and everyone's so busted and strong that Raditz is not an issue. At all. And then this results in Raditz realizing that if he doesn't, like, retreat, he'll die. So because he's a coward, he decides to accept Goku's initial offer to leave Earth and not return. But he comes back in a year with Vegeta and Nappa. But because everyone was training, they were able to fight back the Saiyans. But Piccolo, because he was so salty about losing the first few times against the Sun family, he leaves Earth with Raditz, striking up an early partnership. He allies himself with the Saiyans, betrays Raditz to kill him and Goku, and then helps Vegeta fight off Chi-Chi and Ox King. But thanks to Gohan's efforts, they lose. So they were both Raditz. So Raditz is dead, so is Goku, and I think someone else died. But that's Chaozu died, right? But that's okay because Vegeta and Piccolo survived and left the Earth. And then we have a whole new team of people going to Namek. Things go south. And then we still have, like, Ox King participating in the fights, because Ox King went with Gohan to Namek. But while Vegeta is on Planet Namek finding Dragon Balls, Piccolo figured out a way to corrupt Namekians to be Berserker, like Ox King did long ago. And he uses this to force assimilate with most of the surviving Namekians. And because of this pretty much means that when they confront First Form Frieza, it's not because Frieza was there to fight off the heroes for using Dragon Balls. It's because they find Piccolo holding up the defeated First Form Frieza and he throws him away. And it pretty much means we get Piccolo with the power of all these Namekians that he absorbed being the main bad guy in the Namek arc. And then, as the heroes fight Piccolo, they're forced to heal Frieza with Dende so that they can have a better chance of winning. And it ends with Super Saiyan Goku versus Super Piccolo. And then Goku wins. Namek blows up. Goku goes to Yardrat. Frieza is seemingly dead. And then many years later, we have Mecha Frieza and King Cold arrive on Earth. But the time traveler who stops them isn't future Trunks. It's a young Namekian. And at first, everyone's like, oh my god, this is Piccolo. He's back for revenge. But it's not Piccolo. It's future Kami who has his youth restored. And that was the last thing we talked about before we left the stream. If anyone has any questions or concerns, voice it now, because we're going to dive back into the story about Gigachad Ox King. I'll give you like a minute or two, because this is an excuse for me to make a post in the Smokestick Discord server promoting this stream. Dragon Ball B's Part 45. Oh, that's right, we called it Dragon Ball BT. Hi, Silver, welcome to the stream. Virtue says, just saying we should focus on Ox King a bit more this time. I mean, to be fair, the reason why Ox King wasn't a super major factor in the Namek Saga was because of, like, how power scaling works. Because, like, the Ox King was a driving factor for the Sun family, the entire story. And in the Namek Saga in particular, when Ox King left to go with Gohan to Namek, they did some training. They got their potential unlocked. Both of them did. So we did have Ox King participating in a lot of important fights, like Ox King versus I think it was Raccoon, and also against Zarbon Dodoria. It's just like as a result of like Chi-Chi and Goku like being influenced by the Ox King, and so is Gohan. That it becomes more of him being the focus, more of it focuses on the Sun family specifically. I do have plans for Ox King for the Android Saga, which, by the way, guys, I have not thought about this story since last week. So most of what I'm gonna say is gonna come out off the cuff. So when we get there, we'll get there. But I think off the top of my head, I do have like several ideas to make Ox King more of like a driving factor. Or no, not because he is a driving factor, but more of giving him more of a central role in the story. And also, it's because of what happened with the Ox King and the Sun family that Piccolo is now just flat out evil. So there's that too. Alright, cool. Without further ado, well, let's continue with the story. So, future Kami, who is young. How did that happen? So I feel like we'll still have Kami. He wouldn't reveal his identity. Oh wait, no, he would. No, he'd tell everyone who he is, because like again, he has no baby version of himself in this timeline. It's just regular Kami. So there's no reason for him to hide his identity. So yeah, it would be so future Kami tells everyone what happened in the future, right? Okay. Hey guys, to the people on stream. What do you think should be the reason why Kami went back in time? Should it be because A, Piccolo destroyed the future, B, the androids destroyed the future like usual, C, the androids and Piccolo destroy the future, or maybe even D, something else? I'll write that here. So like, be why is he here? And then go with Piccolo destroys future. B, androids did it. B, Piccolo and androids. And then D, something else. Oh, we're having some different opinions. We got a vote for A, C, or D, and then another D, A, C, B. Oh, I'm surprised. There's like a differing consensus. Uncle Joke, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing well, Uncle. I'm doing very well. We just started the stream, and now we're at the first brainstorming session of the stream. We try and figure out why future Kami went back in time to warn the Z Fighters. Trying to figure out what caused him to come back. Because if we go with the Piccolo destroys the future route, we could say that Piccolo eventually came back, but he was stronger and killed everyone and took over Earth, right? If we go with option B, it's identical to the main story, with the difference being that Kami went back in time instead of anyone else. Because again, there's no young Trunks because Vegeta is not here. And then we got C, which is Piccolo takes over the Earth, but he got stronger because of Doro. I think for like option A, what could be interesting, which Virtue, I like your idea. I'm gonna roll with it. Is that Piccolo goes back to Earth, he defeats Kami, he seals him away, or he tries to anyways, and he releases the Black Water Mist he turned everyone on Earth into, like, demons. And Kami's, like, the last one left who is not a, who wasn't affected. He's the last one left who wasn't affected, right? Maybe he tries to save some people. Like, maybe he saves Bulma. And that's why she makes a time machine. But, yeah, no, I could see Piccolo with Blackwater Mist takes over Earth with very few survivors, led by Kami. And maybe the last wish Kami was able to make before Piccolo... Either he got rid of Shenron, or Kami got rid of Shenron so that Piccolo couldn't use it. Like, his last wish was to be young again. Maybe. And because Bulma was one of the survivors, Kami's able to go back in time. Ayo, is this the Goonstar? Ayo, the Goonstar is on the stream. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. I hear this popular Goonstar makes a lot of very based covers of popular J-pop songs. You also watch what he does. Is this a one-way trip? I feel like Kami will still go back to the future after he won 31, because he probably is the only reason why these handful of survivors are still alive in this demonic future hell. Okay, alright, I think I have an idea. So... We can go with the Blackwater Mist Piccolo idea, right? So in the future... Let me move my mic a little bit. It's a little in the way. There we go. So in the future... Piccolo returned to Earth and defeated Kami. He unleashed the black water mist. People become monsters. Right? And then... we could say Kami escapes, uses the last of the sacred water to save a handful of survivors, including Bulma. There we go. Kami gathers Dragon Balls at some point and wishes for youth. I feel like the reason why this happens is because along with Piccolo, the Z Fighters are all demons who work for him. So it's not even the fact that everyone on Earth is demons like regular people. It's also people like Goku and Vegeta who are also demons working for Piccolo, right? Oh, you know what? I take it back. Piccolo kills Korin and destroys the sacred water. Kami eventually encounters a human doctor who was able to prevent his demonification. Dr. Gero. And then Kami and Gero are forced to work together and figure out how to save Earth. And the reason why Kami's young, because Kami becomes an android after he decides that he needs a stronger, youthful body to defeat Piccolo and his army of demons. How would Gero prevent the invocation? Well, like, he's trapped in a lab. And I would argue that by this point, he's already already an android. And if he is, this means androids are immune because they're not technically alive. It's pretty much just Gero's brain. So, like, in like a android body, right? So I'd be willing to argue that being an android meant that Gero wasn't able to turn into a demon. And then I'll also just say this first. Kami makes sure to destroy Dragon Balls / Shenron to prevent Piccolo from ever using them. Gero eventually creates a time machine, and Kami goes back in time. Oh, 700 mil. No, so Vegeta died. No, sorry. Raditz died for sure. Then Nappa died. And Vegeta is alive? Question mark? I think he's alive. Yeah, no, Vegeta's alive and he's on Earth right now. In the present. But in the future, I'm pretty sure it's Vegeta's also a demon. Let's see. So I feel like this is a pretty good setup so far. I feel like this works. Future. Kami warns them and about Piccolo's return in like 3 years. They have to train. We can say Goku's dead in the future. We could say in the future Goku still dies of the heart virus. So like Kami gives, or he also gives Goku the heart medicine. Future Kami returns to the future. Cool. Let's see. I feel like, yeah, so everyone trains. And it makes more sense because, like, instead of just, you know, Bulma suggesting, hey, we should stop Gero before he makes the androids, and Vegeta just says, no, if you do that, I'll kill you. It'll be just, no one knows where Piccolo is. So all they can really do is prepare, right? Ox King trains with his family, right? Ox King wonders if there's any way to increase his strength. He fears he won't be strong enough to save his family. Why would future Kami stay in the past if his home is a living hell? I mean, it's because there's still people in the future. There's still Jiro. And there might still be survivors. Possibly. So, like, I don't see why he wouldn't stay in the future to, at the very minimum, protect Jiro from being found by Piccolo. At the minimum. What can we do to make Ox King stronger? How does Ox King get stronger? Question mark. Let's see. So there's a few options, right? There's the obvious one, which is androidification. B, Ultra Divine Water. C, whatever that bullshit training with Roshi in the forest was that Krillin got in the Dragon Ball Super show before the Tournament of Power. What was it called? It was Illusion Forest training. What else? And then I guess there's also the time chamber specifically. There's also that. Oh, there's also training to control his inner anger / berserker state, which was previously shown in early Dragon Ball. I feel like that also works. So out of all of these options, I guess there's the silly answer, which is ultimate form question mark. I feel like the best possible answer for this is Ox King wonders how he can control his berserker state or his inner anger. And we can say that the Ox King has always had anger problems. And like he's always had a tough time controlling his anger. And that's how Piccolo, as the Demon King, was able to use that to his own advantage back in early Dragon Ball, right? So maybe he approaches Roshi and he's like, "Hey, Master, I want to figure out how to control my anger because I need to use that inner power if I want to save my family." And then Roshi's just like, "Well, if you're afraid of yourself, then you should go into this really neat forest I go to every now and then." Origin story for the Vaughn, welcome to the stream. Origin story for the Fountain Fire being on fire. Well, wasn't the reason why his mountain was on fire was because it was next to the giant eternal fire furnace or whatever that had like that one goddess Anine, like the god of fire. Retcon it. Honestly, yeah, that's valid. That's valid. HR, welcome to your stream. Chimp, don't you need to promote something? Right. That's a good point. Hey guys, make sure to go ahead and follow the Smugs Community Discord server that I'll go ahead and link here in the top of the chat and pin it so you all guys can know about it. So where is it? Where is it? And then... oh, promote something else? I don't know if I'm desperate enough to link my OnlyFans and sell off my feet pictures. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, honestly. Just saying. JK, JK. Maybe one day. Maybe one maybe one day. I feel like the best option for this approach for Ox King is it's a mixture of like C and E. So like he goes to the training in the Illusion Forest, he fights his inner fears, which is pretty much his fear of losing control and killing the people he cares about. And then segue that into him learning to control his berserker state. I feel like that's like the appropriate and interesting sequence of events for Ox King to get stronger, I think. Oh, is the music too loud? Alright, hold on, let me... Okay, I lowered it a little bit. Is the music not as loud anymore? Is the music still too loud? It's good now. Is it or is it not? I don't know. I'm asking you guys if the music's too loud. So I guess for now we're gonna go with Ox King asks advice from Roshi. How can he get stronger and also learn to control his anger? Roshi suggests the Illusion Forest. Ox King goes there and he's confronted with visions of himself losing control and in his anger hurting the people he loves. Ox King versus Berserker Ox King. Should be pretty hype. Alright, good night, Vaughn. Thanks for coming to the stream. Kaka Veggie Part 2. I do want to continue that because here's a fun fact about that whole Vegeta and Goku like in love story that I made a while back. I have custom-made art I have for that scenario that I want to show off soon. And it was because of this art that I was inspired to make that series. So I do want to make a sequel to that story because I want to show off this specific art. Learning the alphabet with Goku. I mean, I feel like Ox King would know how to read and write. I don't feel like he needs to learn how to type or read because he already knows. get Berserker Ox King, he just looks like a bull. he grows ox fur and like horns and like a snout. Becomes a bull demon king. That's so cursed. But no, I feel like the right answer is that for Berserker Ox King, maybe he bulks up more and he ends up getting like that kind of like, maybe it's like a purple aura at first when he learns to control it, but then later on, that aura becomes white, and it resembles that like pseudo unleashed form that Krillin has in Terminator Power. I remember doing research about this form because when I was researching for Smug Stick for Goku and Vegeta, Rays on Earth, we wanted to give them a power-up that wasn't Kaioken. And what we decided to go with was like this pseudo Ultra Instinct state that was shown off by Krillin. after he trained in Illusion Forest. Where is it? No, not this either. You know what? I'm gonna look up Krillin. I feel like this would be the way to find it easily. It would be abilities. Power-ups. Yeah, that's right. So don't forget, guys, we're gonna have demonic Krillin in the story. It's called No Ego, right? Here it is, the selflessness state. Yeah, that. No Ego is a much better name. So yeah, pretty much, eventually we'll give Ox King the No Ego state. But for now, it's just he learns to control his Berserker state. The selflessness state. What a power-up. I remember thinking back then, oh my god, Krillin got a power-up. This is gonna be gas. This is gonna be heat. We're gonna have Krillin actually matter a little bit in the tournament of power. We're gonna see him do something cool. And what does he do? He throws his shoe at a fox. And his stanky-ass feet makes the fox fall off the stage. And then Krillin gets one shot by Frost. Oh my god, I hate Dragon Ball Super sometimes. I swear to god. Anyways. No Ego. Is it? So I remember there was a page here for the No Ego state. I guess they got rid of it. Oh well. Anyways. Ox King learns to control his rage and thus his Berserker state. Perhaps this state of enlightenment can evolve into something greater? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So now we get, 3 years later. Everyone is stronger. And then we have Piccolo attacks a city. Heroes are ready to fight.
Is there something else I can help with?
Alexa, why are you talking to me? My phone just started blasting for no reason. Let's see. I guess I'll also just say right now that Vegeta is here too. He wants revenge against Piccolo for betraying him. And also, he wants a good challenge. Yeah. What if Vegeta was betrayed by Piccolo and trapped in the time chamber? I said the thing, chat! One of these days, I want to get like a mix board. And whenever I say betrayed, or someone says betrayed by accident, I just press the button. And there's like a betrayed button that says some kind of line. Pachu Community says, we both know any character that's bald isn't important. Yeah, you know, Roshi, Tien, Krillin, Piccolo, Frieza, Hit, Jiren. They're all bald, so therefore they're all hacks and they don't matter. Especially Piccolo and Frieza. Press F in chat. Oh, but yeah. Goku asks Piccolo how he survived. So, if I remember right, we had it so that, you know, Piccolo fights Goku, who's Super Saiyan on Namek, and Namek blows up, right? And because Goku defeats him. Piccolo survived. So let's say, back on Namek. Piccolo barely managed to survive. We can say Goku's final blast destroyed Piccolo from the waist down. Piccolo was able to regenerate and steal a space pod before the planet exploded. Either a space pod or he steals Frieza's ship. One of the two. I'd say space pod because Piccolo had to use one to get to Namek earlier, so I feel like he would have learned how to use one. So then, when he survives, he ends up going to like different planets, trying to like get stronger. That's a good point, memes. If it was Frieza's ship, it'd be more cooler. That would be cool. Or maybe it's like a reference to the Slug movie, and we have Piccolo show up in Slug's ship. What? Why does Lord Slug's pills have its own entry in the wiki? Why is this its own entry? Anyways. Oh, come on. Do you have a picture of his... There's a picture of his goddamn pills, but there's not a picture of his ship. There's gotta be a picture of his ship somewhere around here. Come on. Really? Damn. They really just decided, hey, let's have an entry for Lord Slug's pills, but not his ship. Lord Slug ship. DBZ. Okay, here we go. The planet, the planet cruiser. Oh, that's sick. Actually, it's pretty sick. So yeah, no, I feel like having Piccolo show up eventually in like this gigantic cruiser would be cool too. Charo, I'm not gonna look up the strip DB wiki entry. I don't want to get banned from YouTube. I feel like instead of having Lord Slug be canon here, I feel like it'd be more interesting if like Piccolo, because he's continuing his path towards evil, he eventually becomes like the Lord Slug equivalent, and he gets his own cruiser ship to like invade. So I guess here's my question. Should Piccolo show up by himself? Or should he already have his like own crew ready? Like should Piccolo try to make more children, like more demonic spawn? Because if we're going down that route of having Piccolo have like his own spawn, then we can use the Dark Namekians from Dragon Ball Online and have those be Piccolo's new children. So in that regard, we get like new minions for Piccolo that look cool, and it'd be a way to have Piccolo not just flat out be the only threat in the beginning of this. I wouldn't call it the Android Saga. I'd call it something else, like the Demon Invasion Saga or something. If I remember right, some of these guys have names. There we go. This guy, Baraka, Bralakia. This fish head dude, totally not Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. His name's Week, Week. Gamaleon. That's a fun name, Gamaleon. Narak, another fish head dude. Totally not Tambourine with a knife. So yeah, we're gonna have like Poco Land Dragon. This one's pretty cool. I like how this guy looks. This one's just a dinosaur with like a bunch of bat wings. Oh, this one's cool. This one's like an assassin. Nova Code. Dark Demon Namekian known as Nova Code. He's an assassin. Yeah, you know what? To make it the Dark Namekian arc. That's what it's called. So yeah, let's just have like during those 3 years, Piccolo goes around the universe trying to like find new challenges and get a crew and steals ships, but he eventually decides in favor of creating more of his own people. Create some Dark Namekians that are loyal to him, and when he makes enough children, he goes to Earth to invade. And yeah, so let's see. A massive battle cruiser ship arrives on Earth. The ship opens and legions of Dark Namekians attack a city. As the heroes fight back against the demons, the new King Piccolo arrives. And then Goku asks Piccolo how he survived, managed to escape. He spent the last several years searching for new planets to corrupt and creating children for his army. I feel like this works. Spending the last couple years just creating more and more children spawn to make an invincible army. Doesn't exist says this is random, but maybe have Abo and Kato from the total. I mean, I feel like having other aliens is redundant because this is all about Piccolo and his army of Dark Namekians. So I feel like having other aliens will take away from that, and it will just have more characters in this arc, which is already full of characters, by the way. The corruption. I like that. The corruption arc. I like that name. The Corruption Saga. So then we have, okay, so Goku versus Piccolo. Gohan versus Barakila. Chi-Chi versus what's another name? Gamelon. Demon General. So he's a general. we have Baraka be like first lieutenant. That is not how you spell that. Lieutenant. I hope that's correct. Ox King versus someone. Narok. Giant soldier. And then Vegeta versus miscellaneous monsters. I know Vegeta should fight someone who's named. Oh no, you know what? No, I take that back. It should be. So Vegeta and Z Fighters versus miscellaneous demon army. And then Heart virus kicks in. Vegeta fights Piccolo while Goku is saved and taken away. Heroes are forced to retreat as the city falls to the might of the Dark Namekians. Dark Generals ask Piccolo what to do next, as Piccolo declares they must go to the lookout and conquer heaven. That's pretty cool. That's pretty pog. And then we can have so I'm wondering if for the demon generals, right? I feel like giving Piccolo like 2 demon generals and like 1 lieutenant that's like pretty strong. I feel like having 3 unique Dark Namekians is enough. I feel like having more than 3 is too much. I think 3 is fine. And then what we can do next is as heroes recover at Kame House and they watch news of the demon army conquering more cities. Oh, you know what? But before they retreat, future Kami appears. Wait, should future Kami appear during the initial invasion, or should he show up at Kame House? So if we say future Kami appears now, oh no, you know what? I like your suggestion, Virtue. You know what'd be cool? At the lookout, Piccolo arrives on his ship, ready to defeat Kami. However, the Kami he meets isn't the one he remembers. Standing before him is a young Namekian with a staff. With a sword. A sword staff! It's a staff that turns into a sword. That's cool. That's really cool. Future Kami had returned, and he was ready to stop Piccolo. Right here and right now. What else? What else? What else? I feel like... So maybe Piccolo goes there by himself. And then the other demons are like attacking different cities. Oh, wait, memes, you said, consider this, Kami used the power pole. Oh, the future power pole? That's pretty cool. You know what? Sure. Why not? I dig that idea. As Goku recovers, the Z fighters split up into different groups to liberate several cities. I feel like this could work. And then have, I don't know, Goku stays recovering in Kame House as the group splits up. That makes sense. So then Future Kami versus Piccolo. Oh, Super Saiyan, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. So the way I'm picturing the power pole being unique here is that, like, besides Kami being very versatile with it, going off of Meme's suggestion, is that he's able to manipulate ki with the power pole. So, like, when he extends it, it could, like, the ki part comes out of, like, the sides of the pole. So it creates, like, almost like a scythe, or, like, a sword, or, like, an axe. It depends on what kind of weapon he chooses to atone with like the staff, right? In the cities, the Z fighters confront the generals, the Dark Namekian generals. There we go. So be something along the lines of like, who should go where? I feel like because there's about 3 of these guys. So like West City, we got, I don't know, Barlaka versus Ox King and Gohan, right? And then North City, it's Gamelon? Is that his name? Yeah, Gamelon. Gamelon versus Vegeta. And then South City, we got like Narak versus Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, etc. Then East City. Okay, we just say that these 3 are the ones being invaded. Just these 3. And then, so, without Piccolo's direct orders, the Dark Namekians lay siege on humanity. They enjoy causing havoc and pain. In the end, Narak and Boralika is defeated. Ox King unveils his controlled berserker state, and with the help of Gohan, they defeat Boralika. And then for Narak, it could be something similar to the fact that, like, can Gamelon corrupt Vegeta? It'd be funny. Gamelon attempts to corrupt Vegeta, but it doesn't work. Vegeta states that his heart is already pure evil. You can't corrupt what's already evil. Gamelon is killed. Just flat out just killed. Like, his Vegeta punches a hole through his chest and blows him up. Just dead. Dunzo. And then for what's his face? For Narak. For Narak, his enormous size makes him a larger target for the Earthling Z fighters. Through their coordination, they manage to paralyze the demon and defeat him with a combined beam attack. That could work. As the three groups celebrate their victories, they sense a group of familiar energy in East City. This should be impossible. They're sensing corrupted key signatures of themselves. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I wonder what this means. As the Z fighters reconverge on East City, they are shocked at what they discover. Back at the lookout, Future Kami and Piccolo are locked in heated combat. They are both around the same level of strength, and they are getting tired. Suddenly, Piccolo is struck from behind and killed. He is decapitated. Standing before the shocked Future Kami, is another far greater threat. Someone he remembers from his future. This figure proclaims himself to be the great, bold Demon King. It was the future Ox King. So yeah, the future demons. Virtue's like, no, Chimp, stop. So here's my current thought process, right? So I kind of want to reel it back in and make Ox King more of a central character. So how do I do that? Oh hey, want to have it so that when Kami goes back to the past, the plot twist is that the Ox King in the future ends up accepting his demonification, accepts his anger and his urge to destroy, and because of that, he demonifies way more than anyone else, and he becomes strong enough to defeat future Piccolo and become the new Demon King. It'd be similar to, like, Majin Vegeta, in the sense that, like, the Ox King, because of the Black Water Mist corruption, he wants to go back to the way he was before, right? Before he became peaceful and nice. He wants to, like, feel that urge to destroy and conquer and make others submit to his rule. Like he used to. And it's this dark desire born from his heart that corrupts him further in the future. He becomes strong enough to defeat Piccolo, becomes a new Demon King while Kami is gone. And then he decides that maybe he encounters Jiro too. He defeats Jiro before Jiro can escape to the past. And the Ox King just takes his new army of, like, Z fighters, who are just demons now, to go back to the future, to go back in time. Virtue says, I would have had there be two Piccolos. The thing is, I feel like it's too easy, you know? I feel like having it be another Piccolo wouldn't be that fulfilling, because we've already had Piccolo be a major threat before in the Namek Saga. And also, I've already done two Piccolos merging in a story to be the main bad guy. The last time I did that was for Khalifa's sister with Smugstick at his channel. And I feel like doing that again wouldn't be nearly as satisfying. And it takes away from the story, because this is about Ox King. You know? Oh wait, I saw a question earlier. Someone had a question. Godzilla4189 asks, I hadn't seen previous stream, but you're saying anything about the status of what if Goku learned Ultra Instinct early? It's going to continue. Yeah, no, Godzilla fan, thanks for asking. So I've made various community posts regarding this over the past few months. So I've had a hard time with making a part 3 script that I thought was satisfying, because I'll keep running into a problem where I wouldn't like the script that I would make, and I would scrap it and make new ones. I did that over and over again. I think I made like six or so drafts, or 5, however many it was, for that specific series, that script. And I kind of just got burnt out from it. But recently, I started writing a new, like, part 3 script that I'm more satisfied with. So I am going to continue production of that soon. It will come back, and so will a future installment of, like, Goten Trunks Born Early, that collab series with Smugstick. It's also coming back too. Just that they're still in production. This is a bit too silly. I mean, to be fair, Virtue, this is Dragon Ball. A lot of Dragon Ball is just silly. And again, like I said earlier, I feel like the main focus of this series should be the Ox King. And we already had Piccolo be a main villain in the previous arc, so having another Piccolo be the main villain again, I feel like that would be a little bit, I don't know, repetitive, I think. And hey, if things turn out well, we're gonna have future evil Ox King fight Gohan. you know, his grandson that he personally raised since he was a baby. So yeah, we can have future Ox reveals that he underwent further demonification once he accepted the evil in his heart. He defeated future Piccolo and became the new Demon King. He eventually found Jiro, killed him, and stole his new time machine to chase after Kami. I feel like still calling it the Corruption Saga makes sense. But maybe, I don't know, the instead of just calling it like the Demon Emperor Saga, or like we can call it the Demon Kings with an S, a plural, the Demon Kings Saga. I like that one better. Kami versus future Demon King Ox. Kami is defeated. However, before Kami is killed, Piccolo regenerates from his head being cut off, and the two Namekians retreat. Back in East City, we see the Z Fighters face off against themselves. The demonized Z Fighters from the future, which will probably be Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, Vegeta. Yeah. I feel like... Oh, wait, would Gohan be here? Would future Gohan be here? Sure, why not? I'm like imagining like all these guys have like red eyes, right? And like demon fangs. Kind of like what we saw in like the Garlic Jr. saga. Like in that filler arc. And then Z Fighters versus Demon Fighters. Sure, why not? Heroes get They wouldn't get folded, but I feel like out of all the villains, Gohan is clearly the strongest. Heroes are would the so the demons, the Zeman fighters. I feel like this would be the point where maybe most of the Demon Z fighters, I think maybe most of them could be defeated except for like Gohan. So like Demon Gohan is more than willing to sacrifice his teammates in order to win. Demon Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha are killed in order for Gohan to land finishing blows on the heroes. Yeah, it'd be pretty much like every single edgy fan art you've ever seen of like evil Gohan on like DeviantArt or Twitter over the past like couple decades. This is what this really edgy demon Gohan is, right? So pretty much everything the fan base wants for the most part. This is the future Gohan that the people want. Based off what they say online. I feel like... Let's see here. Where are the characters fits? That's a good question. What would they wear? What would they wear? I'm assuming it's just kind of like they would wear the same clothes they had before, but it's just kind of darker. And it has like the Ox King's kanji on it or something. So like Dragon Ball Fighters, Clone Z Fighters. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. Maybe just add in like a Demon King kanji in there somewhere. Something like that, right? So, my suggestion is that it could be two options. Either before Demon Gohan can kill anyone, Goku shows up and teleports them out of there. Or we have Jiro's androids from the present show up to try and fight off Gohan. And then it's revealed that like Jiro still releases androids because of the invading demons, and the androids killed Jiro. So we still have 16, 17, 18. And they show up to see like, you know, the Z-Fighters lose to themselves. Or maybe even Future Kami warned Jiro in the present, maybe. And so the androids, they try and fight Gohan. Which could be interesting, because then we could have future evil Gohan versus the androids. That could be an interesting callback. So I'll make a poll. I forgot this was an option in streams. Who should fight evil future Gohan? Goku or Android 16, 17, and 18. And there's the poll. Yeah, right. Like I'm pretty sure there was like an option for polls in the in community posts, but that got taken away, right? All right, so far we have wow, we have about four or so votes for the androids. Sure, cool. On the poll. So yeah, sure. We'll have before future Gohan can kill anyone. Present androids arrive to fight. Earlier, Jiro was warned by future Kami about the invading Dark Namekians. He released the androids, but they still rebelled and killed him. So F in the chat for future Jiro. They came across, or they saw the devastation caused by the invading armies and headed towards the nearest city, eager to fight. Yeah, it does make sense. So androids 16, 17, and 18 versus future Demon Gohan. Callbacks galore. I feel like their main objective would probably just to, like, fight. Because even in the original story, they wanted to fight Goku because they were bored. So what would happen is they would see, like, these strong demons and go, alright, they seem like a cool challenge, and then they'll fight. Oh, 16 in particular? I mean, I feel like 16's programming will be slightly different. It'd be 16 wants to kill Goku as, like, a secondary objective, but the main important directive is, like, defeating the evil threats to Earth. So I feel like killing Goku is like not like the main priority. Yeah, no, if Jiro has like a warning ahead of time, I feel like he would slightly change the programming. Especially if future Kami comes back and then he's able to convince Jiro that like they're associates or allies in the future. So like he convinced him to change the programming slightly, but he still want revenge on Goku eventually. So we have the androids are barely able to defeat Gohan. Demon Han. I feel like that's a more appropriate name. Have Gohan win. Well, no, that's what I'm saying, 700 mil. Like, the androids in the present, so 17, 18, they would still kill Jiro and rebel, but, like, they would still want a good challenge and find someone to fight. Or at least 17 does. 18 doesn't really care. So they would still end up trying to like, fight the demon army because they're bored. How about this? Maybe, The androids have a prolonged fight with Gohan. Or Demon Han. It seems like they kill him, but he comes back and defeats them. 16 holds off Demon Han as the Z Fighters save 17 and 18 before escaping. Goku had arrived to teleport them away. Has anyone ever done what if 17 and 18 just fight each other? That's a good point. Like, you think... Maybe it's because they're just that close to each other. But maybe if they weren't nearly as close as siblings, maybe they would have fought each other. Maybe. Heroes retreat to Kame House as they find Piccolo and Kami there. They are shocked to see Piccolo, but are informed that things have changed. Future Ox King is evil, or future Demon Ox King is here. Has arrived and destroyed the lookout. Defeated both of them. They were forced to retreat and move the lookout over to the top of Kame House. So if I remember right, the lookout can be moved. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kami's just like, alright, I'll move this shit, because this is awful. What's the background music? What song is this? I'm pretty sure this is from Ultimate Tenkaichi. I'm pretty sure it's Ultimate Tenkaichi. Ox in the Box. I am not calling this villain Ox in the Box. I'm sorry it doesn't exist. This is not the path we're choosing to go by. But yeah, so I feel like by this point we just have heroes train in the time chamber as future Kami and future Piccolo decide to fuse. Ultra Kamikolo. Would Demon Gohan be stronger than Super Perfect Cell? Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're right. This is present Piccolo. My bad. I feel like the Sun family would enter together, followed by Vegeta and Kamikolo, because why not? He doesn't have any children, so I don't want Vegeta to be left behind either. So I feel like he would go in with Kamikolo. So they will enter for a year. And then, Saiyan's Master, Super Saiyan, Ox King further develops Berserk state, as well as something beyond, in order to ensure he can never be a threat to his family again. Bull Demon King announces on TV that he will host a tournament at the site of Mount Frypan. Whoever participates and interests him will survive and join his new army. The Bull Games! The Bull Games! Sponsored by Red Bull. So I feel like for Piccolo, it'd be a thing where, like, there's no real dominant personality. Because both of them are very, very strong, right? And they decide to fuse in an attempt to, like, defeat the Bull Demon. So what ends up happening is it's more reminiscent of the original Namekian, the order before they split up the first place. Where it's just, like, someone with very conflicted morality scales who wants to get stronger. So yeah, it's a new person. It's not Kami nor Piccolo. It's the original Namekian from the olden times. Just that this time, it's even more pronounced because it's the ultimate evil and, like, the ultimate good combining together. So yeah, week passes, and then we just skip to the games. Bull game sponsored by Red Bull begins. First match. Mr. Satan versus Bull Demon King. One shot. Next. And then we have second match, which would be oh, you know what? No. How about Satan manages to entertain Bull Demon King, so he allows him to live. There we go. Just makes him laugh because of how silly he is. You make a great court jester and lets him live. Oh, you know what? I like that. Future Gohan versus Goku. Very close match as Future Gohan manages to win. I feel like having Future Gohan win, I feel like that makes sense to me. What do you guys think? Like, it'll be a very close match, but I feel like having Goku lose and making Future Gohan win would be more compelling. Or maybe Goku does win, but it's not through, like, fighting. I don't know. But I do want the third match. I definitely want it to be Chi-Chi versus Bull Demon King. And it really goes into, like, the whole psychology of, like, Chi-Chi asking her father why he did this, and, like, he's not the man, he's not the man he used to be, like, you were my father, you were so kind. And then the Bull Demon King's just like, that was all a front. You never knew who I was. This is the real me. I've always been like this. You never knew who I really was. I've always had this burning desire to cause destruction and pain and torment. I just hid it away from you. This is the real me. Chi-Chi begs BDK to stop. This isn't the kind man she knew. BDK retorts that this is the real him. All his life, he's only wanted to cause pain and torment, to dominate others, to dominate the weak, and prove his superiority. He's had to hide this part of himself away when she was born, but now he's accepted himself for who he is, a raging bull who wants to destroy everything he sees. And I could see Chi-Chi puts up a good fight, but she loses before she can get killed. Present Ox King steps in the way. So now we get Ox King versus Bull Demon King. Ox King shows off his controlled berserker state and is actually strong enough to hold off a BDK. Yeah, I feel like that works. He's evolved beyond what she can possibly imagine. There we go. Just for you, Virtue. Just for you. So I'm feeling kind of stuck. Because I definitely want present Gohan to be the one that defeats BDK. But I'm trying to figure out how to approach it. And also the fact that future Gohan is still here. What to do, what to do. Come on. Come on, brain. Come on, brain. Give me a brain blast. What could... Because I'm thinking an option could be that the battle is even, and then BDK decides to show off like his true power. Because he this entire time he hasn't used his full power. Like, he was holding back. He had a transformation. So then he shows off the transformation, which, I don't know, maybe he becomes an actual bull? Because it's a demonification, right? And if I remember right, they've shown demons in Dragon Ball that look like actual animals. For example, in Hero's Legacy, there was that one demon in Mount Paozu that was a giant boar thing. So, like, demons can look like animals. So maybe the complete demonification of the Bull Demon King is that he becomes an actual, like, bull demon hybrid thing. Right? If I remember right, here's some fun facts and trivia about Journey to the West. In the original Journey to the West story, one of the main antagonists for Sun Wukong was the Bull Demon King, and it was the inspiration for it was the main inspiration. But here he is. It was the main inspiration for Piccolo. Yeah, like something like this, where it's like a massive demon bull that has like big horns and hair, has armor and stuff, right? Oh, also, by the way, guys, please go ahead and watch Monkey Kid. It's a really great show. You should all watch it. It's fantastic. But, you know, it's something like this, right? Yeah, so I feel like with, like, it's kind of like the true Demon Bull King. So BDK declares that he was holding back this whole time as he transforms into the true Demon Bull King. Present Ox is defeated. Heroes try... Oh, I got it. The heroes tried to step in and stop him from killing Present Ox, but future Demon Han won't let them. As future BDK is about to kill Present Ox, he tells his family to continue fighting and that he's always been proud of them. He tells Present Gohan to not be afraid of himself. It's important to use his power and rage to protect those precious to him. Present Ox dies and Present Gohan snaps. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan awakens. I can't spell. He one-shots Demon Han. And yeah, no, if ever in Dragon Ball, thank you for telling me 700 mil. If I remember right, if a demon kills someone in Dragon Ball, then their souls are trapped in purgatory. So yeah, let's have... Yeah, so Super Saiyan 2 Gohan defeats Demon Han and just flat out kills him. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus True Bull Demon King. It's an intense, arduous battle that threatens to destroy the world. Oh, you know what would be cool? If, like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan awakens with... Yeah, what you said, Virtue. With, like, key-based horns on his head. That'd be nice. I like that. And yeah, Virgil, I also agree. I feel like Bull Demon King would have some kind of grandiose speech where he's just like, from this moment forward, I leave behind my former self. Witness who I really am! And then he just cuts his head off. Or, yeah. A frog says, give him a tail. So yeah. And then... I feel like by this point, Bull Demon King attempts to destroy the world. If he can't have it, then no one can. Sun family gathers together and fire a Kamehameha, or a Kameyamama, as the kids say. They defeat BDK and save the worlds. Let's see. Luigi Main says, the detail matters a lot since it means that the victims of demons are unable to train and in some form of stasis. I feel like they could still train, but like it's not really themselves. It's like the demons that are that came from within their bodies controlling it. So like the human rational part's dead essentially, or at least not able, or is aware and can't do anything about it. Does Vegeta get a cheap shot? Sure. Vegeta fires a blast that catches DBK off guard, helping the heroes get the W. Dragon Balls are summoned to bring back those lost. However, the Ox King is unable to return, along with the victims of the Dark Namekians. Or I guess it'd be the victims of the Dark Z-Fire specifically. Because those killed by demons have their souls sent to purgatory. The Dragon Balls are not strong enough to bring them back. Heroes mourn for the people they lost, including Ox King. Piccolo returns to Future to defeat the remaining demons. And then... well, that's the thing, though, because Demon King Piccolo wasn't considered a true demon, though. For some reason. But in here, it'd be much more akin to true demons because of how far the corruption was to the future Z Fighters and Ox King. So, yeah, I feel like the Dragon Balls wouldn't be enough to bring them back. Present Ox King stays dead. Sun family move on with their lives, living with the lessons that the Ox King taught them. And then many, many years later, the Ox King is still trapped in purgatory when he suddenly reawakens. He looks around and finds a much older Gohan with his family, as well as a massive yellow dragon. At some point in Dragon Ball Super, they managed to use the Super Dragon Balls to bring back Ox King. Family hug as Ox King is happy to see how much Gohan has grown. Series finale is Ox King meeting his great granddaughter Pan. I feel like this makes sense. No, dead ass doesn't exist. It'd just be the return of the king, literally. And yeah, I feel like this would have to be like, this is a good point for an ending. Because realistically, like, I feel like keeping the Ox King around for Dragon Ball Super, like, I don't feel like there's a big need because he'd probably end up being left behind a lot. So ending it on this massive high note, and then return and ending it with a happy ending in the future makes a lot more sense. I don't want to do the thing where like, oh yeah, Ox King survived and he stuck around, and maybe he helps out in the Buu saga, like maybe Buu absorbs him or something. But then in Super he gets left behind because in Dragon Ball Super, if you don't have God King, you're not a Saiyan, you don't matter. So like, it'd be a disservice to the point of the story, you know? So the main takeaway would be the implication that, like, Gohan is, like, really strong. And Goku is also strong. And then, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I guess the other change would be, like, in the future timeline, we'd have Ultra Piccolo instead of future Trunks. And honestly, I feel like Zamasu coming to the future, he'd have to fight Ultra Piccolo, who's probably even more cracked than I gave him credit for. And if he keeps training, I could see just Goku Black and Zamasu losing to Piccolo. Yeah, he just kills Goku Black, and then there's no other threat. Yeah, and then the series ends. Cool! That took a long time. We created just one massive epic. That's wild. I have, like, about another half an hour. So, maybe 15 minutes. I'll get maybe 15 minutes. So, if anyone has any other questions, comments, or concerns, I'd be happy to answer that. And maybe even, like, answer any kind of what-if suggestions, but, like, very quickly breeze through it. What if Piccolo was a good dad? He is a good dad. Read the original story. Pull a Jaime Nieves. Yeah, no, I'm gonna totally do, what if the entire Saiyan race was in, the Seven Ronin with, Tom Cruise. Is the UI what if being continued? Yes, I said this early in the stream, but I am continuing that series. It's just I had a lot of difficulties coming up with a good way. Or I had a lot of difficulties coming up with part 3, and I was always having trouble with the scripts, and I would delete them and do another one and delete it again because I wasn't satisfied. And along with IRL commitments, I just was really busy throughout all the summer, so I couldn't really focus much on it. But now I do have a very solid foundation for a part 3, and I'm hoping to have that come out very soon. What if all Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 4s? I mean, if that was the case, then Frieza would have been defeated a long time ago. And the story changes completely. What if Cooler wasn't cooler, but he was lamer? Man, what if he was called lamer? Who knows? Who knows? He get bullied by Frieza. Why didn't Dr. Gero give 1718 energy absorption? If I remember right, in the original story, in the Android Saga, he says, like, oh, there's no need for that, because they have infinite energy. I think that was the original explanation. But then in GT, he goes, actually, that's dumb. And then he gave Super 17 absorption to absorb energy blasts. I think. It was either he could absorb energy blasts, or it was like his barriers are stronger. I don't remember. Why didn't he give Cell of infinite energy? Well, I think it's because I feel like it's more to do with the fact that he's an organic being and not like a full-on like had mechanical upgrades. So maybe it's just a simple fact of the matter that like he couldn't just stick an infinite engine to Cell because question mark. Or maybe he thought that if he gave Cell like his infinite energy engine, that'd make him harder to control. Maybe, I don't know. What if all Saiyans are like his great apes? I remember I had a similar idea a while back where it's like, what if the great ape form was like every Saiyan's base form? And like their human forms are like the next step of their, like, it's like their transformation. So like Goku comes to Earth in like a space pod the size of like a skyscraper. And little Gohan has to raise giant great ape Goku. What if the Saiyans had infinite energy? That would pretty much mean that Frieza would probably kill them off even quicker than before, because they're more of a threat than he initially thought they would be. Shinzo asked, did I give one early UI? I'll say it again, no I have not. I just had a lot of difficulties with the Part 3 script over the past few months. Also, IRL obligations. But I'm still developing the series, don't worry. Same thing with Goten Trunks born early. Let's see. What if the big Getty Star was canon? Oh, that'd be cool. I've always liked the concept of the big Getty Star. It's a shame that, like, the Metal Cooler movie was just not fun. In the sense of, like, there was a lot of animation problems with the movie that makes it look really bad. And then there's the questionable writing for the Metal Cooler movie. But the concept of the big Getty Star is so cool. I mean, if I had my way, I'd probably introduce the big Getty Star in, like, Dragon Ball Super and have that be, like, a major antagonist. Maybe the big Getty Star came from a different universe. Like Universe 3 or, like, Universe 6. Dear God, Chi-Chi giving birth to a giant Ozaru Gohan. Oh my God, poor Chi-Chi! She's gonna die! I mean, at that point, I'd imagine that, like, Goku would bring Bulma to, like, he'd bring Chi-Chi to Bulma and be like, hey, can you help? And then it's gonna end up either with science, they take the baby out, or they use Dragon Balls so that Gohan's born safely. Or maybe it's because, like, he's a hybrid. Maybe Gohan is born and he looks like a regular human baby, but the older he gets, like, the Saiyan part of him kicks in, and he ends up becoming a giant Ozaru when he's, like, 3. Or 5. What if Dragon Ball went backwards? Okay, Ooga Booga, I know you think you're really funny. However, I already did this. Last summer, so summer of 2021, the Smug Stick Discord server, we hosted an event in that server where we discussed what ifs that won a contest, right? And the what if suggestion that won the contest that summer, it was 2 of them. It was what if Dragon Ball Z, what's the PSP game called again? Charo, do you remember the name of the PSP Dragon Ball game? It was, oh God, it's bothering me now. DBZ, Goku, PSP games. There we go. Yeah, so it was the 2 concepts that won was what if Dragon Ball Z Another Road was canon, and then the second one was what if Dragon Ball had a reverse timeline, which at the time meant that the first arc was the Moro arc, and then the final arc was Pilaf. So we had a lot of really funny discussions regarding that, because the ending implied that like Pilaf was like this 5th dimensional threat. We called him God Emperor. No, he was God Eater Pilaf, and he was as strong as Zeno. Wait, Charo, was the other winner DBZ only movies winning? Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure it was Another Road. And like the way we discussed this this contest was that we spent like an hour talking about Shin Budokai, like that what if. And then for DBZ Reversed, we spent a total of like I think 8 to 10 hours. Because it was so long and expansive, we had to split up the discussion for DBZ Reverse like 3 times. We made 3 separate streams in an attempt to really flesh it out, and I have it all saved on my hard drive, by the way. The completed live stream was about, in total, about 8 to 10 hours long. Shit's massive. All news or canon needs a YouTube annotation. Yeah, I agree. I feel like we would have to redo it though, because I remember at the time when we discussed it, only DBZ movies are canon. I think we went in with the idea that it's only the DBZ movies are canon, which meant that Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, is the same, which meant we still had Piccolo. But if you wanted to do only the movies are canon, you would have to figure out how to replace Piccolo, because he's not in any of the OG Dragon Ball movies. But no, I agree. I feel like only DBZ movies are canon could definitely be an interesting series. What if Super Saiyan was Super Saiyan O? What do you mean by O? Do you mean Super Saiyan Orange? I don't want to see a Super Saiyan Orange. I wasn't even a fan of Super Saiyan Blue. What if Super Saiyan Blue didn't exist? Then that means they lose to Frieza, right? Without Super Saiyan Blue, they lose to Reza Frieza, and even if they win, they would definitely lose against Hit. Charo, listen, I love me Ben 10, and I know for a fact that I definitely want to do Ben 10 and Dragon Ball Z one day. For those who don't know, back in like 2020, in the early days of the Smug Squad Discord server, one of the first discussions I ever had on that server was, what if Ben 10 was in Dragon Ball Z? And it was, I think, it was such a massive undertaking, and everyone was so inspired that we ended up discussing it over the course of a week because of how hype it was. Charo, I still have the fan art you made of it. Let me show it. Hold on. Like, we went really hard, more than we had to, for Ben 10 and Dragon Ball. It was so cool, and I definitely want to go into that one day. Here it is. So, like, for Charo made this little diagram, which really helped out. The list of Saiyans we chose, or sorry, the list of transformations was, we had a Frost Demon, a Saiyan, Namekian, Kanatsun, Yardradian, a Tuffle, a Middleman, a Kanassin, whatever Yakon was, and then a Goldo race. As like the list of the 10 aliens that Ben had access to, the Omnitrix in Dragon Ball. It was, oh my god, it was so hype, it was so cool. And like, I remember we talked about how, similar to OG Ben 10, one of the aliens inside the Omnitrix escapes, which would have been Dr. Lychee. He'd be the ghost face stand-in. So, Big Brain, aka the Lychee knockoff, he escapes, and then Big Brain ends up becoming a recurring antagonist. Man. I feel like once... I definitely want to finish my my current series soon. I want to finish... I feel like the series I'll finish first will most likely end up being Heart Virus Goku. Because that only needs 2 more parts. Once I finish Heart Virus Goku and probably also Vegeta Goku in Love, I want to start one more new series. I think that'll probably end up being either... It'll probably end up being either Ben 10 in Dragon Ball, or it'll be a series that's a lot faster. Maybe something like DBZ movies are canon. Something like that. I already have the outlines for Heart Virus Goku done. I know how it's gonna end. I just have to finish writing down the scripts for the finale. I have the script for Heart Virus Part 4 finished, and I recorded the audio for it. But because of the fact that I was kind of stuck in a hurricane all week and had family over the entire time, like extended family staying with us, it's been hard finding time to like actively like finish editing my audio. But I definitely want to finish Heart Virus Goku within like the next month or 2. I want to finish that off completely. What if all the Saiyans had instant transmission? I mean, that would just mean that they had... If that was true, then Frieza wouldn't be able to kill the Saiyans. Because the moment he fires a Death Ball at Planet Vegeta, they'll just escape and like, teleport away. DBZA movies canon would probably be a good idea. Sound attention grabbing enough. Yeah, that's another thing. Something I've noticed is that like when it comes to a series that's not like super popular, not popular, but like something that would appeal to like the general fan base, those videos don't do well. Like as much as I really like FNAF in Dragon Ball or like Goku Vegeta in Love, those videos didn't get much views because of the fact that like it just didn't appeal to most of the fan base. Same thing with Martians and Dragon Ball. Like, that's a series I'm really proud of. And I'm really glad with the progress. But, like, it can't even break out of 2K views, right? Because it's such a niche audience. It's people who like Dragon Ball, and not only DC, but specifically Martian the Manhunter. Hey Chimp, what do you like more, Gohan's anger, or I can't read the rest? Are you asking if I like the idea of Gohan having like a rage boost? I mean, it's fine. It made him unique when he was introduced in early Dragon Ball. Memes Treasure says Heart Virus Goku is absolute Kino. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. That series started because I thought it was funny. I'm not even joking. I only made that series because when I thought it in my head, it made me laugh. So like, here's a little sneak peek into the mind of Professor Chimp. If a topic makes me laugh, I will most likely seriously consider it. Heart Virus Goku, Goku Vegeta in Love, Freddy Fazbear in Dragon Ball. Just because these topics, just saying it out loud makes me laugh, right? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. They're funny. Here's a hot take I have about the Dragon Ball community, or at least the fandom in general. A lot of fans take this series way too seriously. Whether it be because, like, oh, they care a lot about the action and the fighting and, like, the power scaling. But, like, they just take it too seriously. You know, good on them. I'm glad they have a series they enjoy and they're that passionate about it. But, like, if it becomes too serious, it gets to a lot of arguments online. You get, you know, like, power scaling arguments all the time. You hear that on the internet. People going, oh, you hate this character. Oh, then I hate you, and here's why. And I feel like people forget that Dragon Ball's a silly series. It's always been silly since the very beginning. And I feel like in the What If community, very specifically in the What If community for Dragon Ball on YouTube and online, it's always like the edgier ideas that have a widespread appeal, like Betrayed Goku. And stories like what if Vegeta was always evil, or like or maybe the more logical routes, like, oh, what if God Ki was discovered early, right? And all these story topics tend to be either either on one hand it's super edgy and dark, or at minimum it's like logical and realistic, which there's nothing wrong with those two approaches, but they're like the main focal point for a lot of these what if stories. Like, I never really see a what if topic for a video by a prominent YouTuber. It's like, oh, this what if is entirely like funny and humor based, right? Like, you know, Goku using the heart bar or something like that, right? The most I'll see of a topic like that is like an April Fool's what if, but even then, it's not even anything like silly. It's just an idea that's more out there in terms of logic. Like, oh, what if Frieza raised Goku? Like, okay, it's not really silly, but like, it's an idea that most people wouldn't accept unless it was like on April Fool's, right? So I feel like having more silly ideas for what ifs to show to people that isn't what you traditionally see on What If Dragon Ball YouTube, I feel like it's something that I like doing. Because for the most part, most YouTubers don't approach that, you know? And again, there's nothing wrong with that if people don't want to approach those kind of like silly stories in favor of something else. But that's just what I like doing, personally. And I'm not afraid to like make stories that are a bit more out there and comedic in nature. Oh shit, I said Betrayed Goku, didn't I? Ah! No! I didn't mean to say it, no! Yeah. I do like my silly stories. And I also do indeed enjoy Dragon Ball. So, here I am. What if Orale raised Goku? It'll probably not be Orale specifically, but probably be like her doctor, right? Was the name Dr. Sunbei? Sunbin? So yeah, no, if that happened, things would be a lot more sillier. And we probably have a Goku who becomes a gag character. And we all know, gag characters are the strongest beings in Dragon Ball. Yeah, exactly, Beams. Like, serious stories and silly stories have their places in the grand scheme of things, right? In storytelling. What if Goku betrayed everyone? Yeah, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna go move to Universe 6. Goodbye, everyone. I'm leaving. Goku just moves there and just tells, bye, family, bye, friends. I'm leaving forever. Bye. Ooga Booga says, Dragon Ball... Oh, Dragon Ball in DC is my personal favorite. What if it's got a great balance of everything? Yeah, no. That's a fantastic series by Geeks for Fun. That's a fantastic series. I will openly state on record that I think Alfie's or Geeks for Fun, his Dragon Ball in DC story is probably the best written Dragon Ball What If story out there on the internet. Or at the very minimum on YouTube. I feel like he spent so much time lovingly crafting this entire universe and character interactions, has a great emphasis on character moments and character development, while staying true to not only Dragon Ball, but also DC as well. It's fantastic. What if Goku left for milk and never came back? Yeah, he went to the time chamber because he's like, oh yeah, I hear they sell milk in there! And just never came back. What if Goku betrayed Chi-Chi by going to Bulma for food? Oh man. Bulma walks in on Capsule Corp and finds Goku with Bulma eating her food, and she takes it really badly. How dare you let another woman cook for you? This is the final straw, Goku. I want a divorce. What's the song in the background? What song is this? Yeah, I think this is from Revenge of Demon King Piccolo for the Wii, I think. Oh wait, no. I take it back. No, I take it back. I think this song is from the OST of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yeah, no, Charo, you know what? It's a thumbnail of Goku in Ultra Instinct, like, kissing Bulma, and then you see Chi-Chi in chains in the time chamber. And the caption is, what if Goku betrayed Chi-Chi for Bulma? That would get so many fucking clicks. That would be memed about all over Twitter. It'd be spread throughout the entire fandom. And I would get more billion views. And I would also get either more billion death threats, or I'm gonna get more billion comments going, Chi-Chi sucks, she deserves to have an unfaithful husband. Chi-Chi's a horrible character, she didn't make Gohan fight, therefore she should deserve to get cucked like that. Why didn't Toriyama do this? Why didn't Toyotaro make this a plot point in Dragon Ball Super Broly? It'd be the Dragon Ball What If to break YouTube. Yeah, exactly, Ooga Booga. You're correct. Or I think I'll answer one more, like, comment, and then I'll have to head out. What if Goku let Caulifla and kill him with something with turn power? I have a similar, not only have a similar idea, but it's also something that I've discussed with Smug before. And that discussion ended up evolving into the, what's it called? Oh, I had a brain fart. I lost a train of thought. I'm sorry, I lost a train of thought. I lost it. My bad. But, like, I remember, like, I had a discussion with someone about this, like, a long time ago. About, like, Caulifla and Kale. Oh, that's what it was. Caulifla and Kale being the Z Fighters. And that topic ended up evolving into a different series. But if I were to approach it with a different angle, like, as in Caulifla and Kale appeared post TOP, how would I approach that? I mean, they come over the train, obviously, and then they were involved in the Broly movie, which means we get like Caulifla and Kale versus Broly, and then probably Kefla versus Broly, which would be cool. Maybe Super Saiyan 3 Kefla, maybe, and then they'd be involved with like the Moro invasion of Earth with the prisoners. And then it's debatable if they're even involved in Granola, like, at all. Virtue's like, I wonder what you're talking about. Yeah, me too. I wonder what it could be. I sure do wonder what that could be. Okay, guys, it's been a hot minute. It's been 2.5 hours. I have to get out of here because I want to get ready to head out tonight. So it's been really real. Thank you for coming over to listen to me ramble about Ox King becoming a Gigachad. And for these questions and answers, thank you so much for your time. I had a lot of fun tonight. This is a great time discussing it with you all. I don't know if I'll live stream next week. But if I do, I want to talk about Tarble. Because I think one of the other topics we discussed... Or yeah, it was this. It's these two. What if Tarble was the strongest and Vegeta was the weakest, combined with, like, Ultimate Rival? I feel like that could work, but I don't think I'll have the free time for next week to talk about it. Maybe at some point in October, or maybe in November. Not sure yet. Thank you all for coming. I had a lot of fun tonight. Remember to hit that like button and share the stream with your friends. And if you do, then Tarble Gigachad might return. Who knows? And, yeah. No, that's it. Thank you so much. It's been Professor Chimp signing off. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.